back to Science from Home. My name is Molly and I am a librarian with Spokane County Library District. I'm going to be your host today. Today's science experiment, if it works, will get us a convection current. Why a convection current? Especially because we did an earlier experiment about them. We're doing them again because they are important to our natural world, and I'll get into that toward the end. But just a refresher, a convection current is when lighter, warm materials like warm air, warm water, warm magma rise above cooler, denser materials which are sinking. So warm water wants to rise above to the top of colder water. Same with air or magma. For this experiment, you're going to need a tub of cold water. You're also going to need some hot water, which I have here in the kettle. You're going to want some kind of jar that's shorter than the water in your tub. I am weighting mine down with rocks, so there's already some rocks in my jar. And then you're gonna want some food coloring. So our first step is to take the hot water and pour it into our jar that is weighted. Keep in mind that once you add hot water, the glass on your jar is going to get pretty hot, so be careful. I'm gonna try and fill that up. Then I'm gonna add some food coloring. Got the green one here. Okay, and I'll just let that disperse throughout the cup. So the next step, once you have your jar with a weight and water, hot water and food coloring in it, is to put it into the tub, which I'm gonna do now. I don't want it to tip over. I just kind of want it to sink down. And then we'll watch what happens. It's definitely working. Sometimes this experiment is called an underwater volcano because as you can see, it kind of looks like there's a volcano erupting here. So the hot water from the jar wants to rise to the top, and you saw that happen as all of that green dyed water rapidly rose up. So as I said before, a convection current occurs when warmer materials pass and mix with colder materials as they are trying to rise. And this happens all the time in nature. So it can affect our weather. When warm air meets cold air, it can form a low pressure zone. And as the warmer air works to rise above the colder air, like in our bucket here, the moisture in the warm air condenses and it forms rain clouds and we get rain. In our oceans, cold water from the poles get pulled down toward the equator while warmer water from near the center of the earth rise. And this process, this convection current, what we witnessed right here, with this sort of cyclical cold water on the bottom, hot water on the top kind of thing. As the cold water gets sucked down to the equator and the warm water kind of moves toward the poles, it distributes nourishment, nutrients, I guess, and water throughout our oceans, and it's really important to the oceans that this kind of cycle happens. I do find it pretty cool that we can simulate this in our kitchens. And that's this week's Science from Home. Hope to see you again next week for another episode.